But let's pick up with what we talked about last week. We talked about the first Super Brawl pay-per-view. We're going to pause that coverage, as I said, and we're going to do Ask Arn. We are going to have the AFS family with us this month, but I want to also talk about ad-free shows for a little bit. Not only do they get experiences like this, but in another example, this month, the winner of the very first Royal Rumble, Arn, who you know, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, he's going to be sitting down and joining the guys for a Zoom call as well. So I think that's pretty cool.
There is a new rule of law in the Old West. If you're going to steal somebody's car and get busted, don't run in Jim Duggan's house.
You got that right. I mean, he just made the news, and he pinned that guy down. He wasn't going anywhere.
I know Jim Duggan real well, and the horror that went through that guy when Duggan got up off of his easy chair and roared, and I'm sure he roared. The horror was immeasurable. He probably just was saying, hey, just take me to prison.
Yeah,
just
I bet.
Get me out of here.
He probably called him a tough guy, gave him a hoe, and instead of the 2x4, he came out with the Glock, Arn Anderson style. So I didn't want to be that guy. Arn, before we get into it, there's two things I do want to mention real quick, and that is the Horseman jackets are arriving. Our research guy got his. Some others, Brad Stanton and others got there. Guys, go to arnlinks.com and order yours today from Box of Gimmicks. But for the feedback that I've heard so far, they are on point, my friend.
Well, they're quality, and that's what I've been after for a couple of years. Again, Paul, thanks for hooking me up with these folks that are taking care of this. I finally got something I was proud to put out there and go, here, guys, it's a comfortable under any terms, any type of weather, and it looks the part. It looks like what you remember in the old days. So I'm glad everybody's enjoying them.
And that's awesome. And then you and I were just talking before we kicked off. You and Brock, we don't know exactly the air date, but you're going to be on AEW's podcast. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and it's the first time we've done it. I'm always honored to be on air with Tony Schiavone. He's such a good friend, such a pro, and this thing is doing well, the podcast, pretty much everywhere. And everybody has a different slant. Aubrey sitting there with Tony and what she's accomplished, as a female referee is just, the business is changing and it's different and it's cool. And getting to talk about it was a lot of fun. Brock had a lot of fun as well. And everybody tune in, let us know what you think.
AEW Unrestricted, it is with Aubrey Edwards and Tony Schiavone, but it's a special episode because you have the Andersons, daddy and son, Arn and Brock.